I've got a question here from a GP. How much fruit should we recommend to patients?
One blueberry.
And just following on that too, a few people have asked, is it going to be detrimental if I introduce a banana or an apple?
Well, look, the problem for modern fruit is it's got a lot of sugar in it. And if you're trying to get down to 20 grams of carb a day, and an apple's got 20 grams sugar in it, you've just blown it out of the water. So, look, a lot of people say rough, it depends where you're at. If you're really wanting to get somewhere fast, get down to low sugar, low carb, and that might be just some berries. It might be one piece of fruit a day if you can tolerate that. But this idea that fruit and vegetables we should eat in lots and lots, vegetables, yes, particularly non-starchy, but fruit, it's so much sugar in it that it's kind of incompatible with a lot of what we're saying today.
So again, what you do need to think about is different people will respond differently depending on your metabolic health. The nice thing about ketone testing is what you can do is test your ketones and have one blueberry and see whether it makes any difference, and then 2 blueberries and see whether it makes any difference. And you can work out how much fruit you can actually tolerate, remembering that fruit has sugar. The banana, 4 to 5 teaspoons of sugar in a banana. So you just need to think in those terms. Now, if you're metabolically well, maybe you can tolerate more. But there's the other side of it, which is the fructose. And we haven't actually touched on fructose today at all, because fructose is a whole nother discussion about why it's bad in its own right, as opposed to just sugar and processing through the liver. And I'll segue over to Paul, because it's one of his favourite topics. But fructose, fruit is fructose and glucose, and so you're not just getting the glucose, you're getting the fructose as well. So it's not that fruit's bad for you per se, it's not a poison. It does have a few good things in it, but we can get them mainly from the fats of the animals that we're eating anyway.
And the vegetables.
And the vegetables. Well, again, if you're going to eat vegetables, vegetables are carbohydrates, so green leafy vegetables as your primary source of vegetables, bathed in olive oil or butter, so you can use the vegetable to get more fat into you. But I know Paul has an opinion about fructose particularly.
So I have to begin, Rod, by respectfully disagreeing with your one blueberry a day. Blueberries are not on my permitted list. So if you actually have a look at them, blueberries, they're the ones that my patients love to have. They come in and they've been told berries are okay, so invariably they will have blueberries. And why do they gravitate towards blueberries? They're 12% sugar. If you compare them to raspberries, blackberries, strawberries, they're about 5 or 6%. So blueberries are double the sweetness. So if you've ever wondered why you love blueberries, it's because of that reward pathway in your brain. So people have said that fruit is nature's candy, and it absolutely is. But somehow we've been addicted to sugar over our whole lifespan. So they'll say, I'm going to transition to a healthy way of eating. But gee, my brain is still craving some reward. I just want this cuddle from food. So we gravitate towards the sweetest fruits that we're permitted to have. So I actually have a list. I order fruits in order of their percentage of sugar. And depending on the patient in front of me and how metabolically deranged they are, I'll draw a line. And I'll say, you can have fruits above the line or below the line. And I'll make that determination.
I'd just like, from an evolutionary perspective, when we were evolving in our caveman paleo days, if we could get some fruit at the end of summer, that was great. The more we could get, the better, because it would fatten us up to get through the winter. So we love sweet things, and I think probably the reason we love sweet things is the people who loved it the most survived as cavemen because they fattened up the most they got through the hard times. So they're actually fructose in nature. It's there for a very good reason, to get you through winter. Our problem is that we can get fructose 365 days a year, and we suffer the consequences of that.
And because fructose was only available at certain times of year, you had to be able to eat as much of it as you could really quickly. So fructose actually suppresses your satiety. You can eat fructose and not get full, and that's part of the problem.